おかわり。
ほら半分。何よ。
So that was a little clip, or half a clip, I think as much as I could show about the MCA, of Dragon Ball Daima. And, that scene right there, it's classic, like, Dragon Ball mixed with, like, Episode 4, New Hope Star Wars, where you got, like, the cantina scene, where they're getting jumped in the cantina. Except, instead of a lightsaber, they're just, like, casually kicking their ass. I mean, Glorio there with the drink. It's kind of fun, like, he's just pouring the drink in that dude's eyes. That kind of looks like one of King Piccolo's demons. And it's kind of interesting because, like, in Dragon Ball at this point, remember, this is after the Buu saga. These guys could blow up planets. Glorio, I mean, we would say he's definitely weaker than Buu, but, he's probably... relative to Deborah, maybe a little bit weaker, and he's using a drink as a weapon like a regular person. It's kind of interesting to see that. But then, I guess some people, the power scale people, kind of is like pain in the ass to deal with. But I don't mind. I kind of like the classic, fights. And they do kind of explain a little bit that in the demon world, you're very sluggish because everything... the air and just the environment, the planet. They didn't really say it's because of the gravity per se. It's the air, according to Glorio, makes everything move very slow. But, probably is more of the gravity. And he gives a whole explanation when he takes Goku to the demon world. So basically how they go there in the previous episode, they have to, travel in space. So we get this beautiful shot, of space and everything. We're going to see, the Earth. And then they have to travel through this giant fish, as we got to see when the demons came to Earth. Warp-sama, that's his name. Goku pisses him off. And then they go to the demon world. And it's kind of explained in the demon world that there's not just one demon world. So you kind of have, like, it's really the demon realm. And then you have, like, 3 planets in the demon realm. And they all used to be, like, you could just travel freely through them. But now they all have gates. And there's like they're separated. And they all kind of have like their own politics and their own people. And apparently, it's explained by Glorio that the Supreme Kai, his people, came from one of the worlds. I think it was the first one, or maybe it was the second one. I'm not quite sure. And they never came to like the third world, which is the one that they're like traveling around on. And yeah, Glorio says he's from the first world. So I'm assuming the first world is maybe the darker one that we see in the first episode with King Goma and everything. That's the one that looks more like the demon realm. This one kind of just looks like a rocky planet. Looks like really just like any alien world you would see in space. So it's, it's kind of interesting. Doesn't really look scary. Goku kind of brings it up. They get jumped by some cavemen with bow and arrows, and they say like, oh, Glorio says they were bandits, but I don't know. They kind of just look like, some primitive tribes to me trying to attack them. Then they gotta like go stay at a hotel. And then Glorio's like, I ain't putting up with it. I ain't paying this money. They even had like a name for the currency. It's very cool. And also like, I don't know, Glorio, he does even kind of look like Han Solo. So it's kind of perfect that they did like a Star Wars cantina scene here. The dude looks like freaking Han Solo. So definitely there's a lot of inspiration for Star Wars in this episode. Goku's eating the burgers. He's like, what meat is this? And Glorio's like, don't ask. So, it could be anything. It's probably demons. That's what I'm assuming the meat is. It's probably demons. And yeah, Goku, I mean, it seems like he's getting more used to fighting in this form now. I think every episode we're going to see Goku progress and get more comfortable, fighting in the small body and fighting on a planet. Because really, if you look at it, Goku's just been nerfed, like, with 2 things now. First being a kid, and now having to fight in a realm, on a planet, where it's hard to move. So he's really nerfed, but it makes sense because he kind of has to be, because Glorio said like he should be able to defeat King Goma, even with King Goma's magic, because they defeated Majin Buu. Majin Buu was stronger than King Goma. Even, Babidi was technically more powerful because King Goma was afraid of Babidi and Deborah. So, they're not that powerful so far, these villains, except for the female scientist character. I forget her name. She's probably going to be maybe the main villain, or somebody else going to get their hands on that eye thing that they tried to wish for in the previous episode. I feel like that's going to play a role way later on. Also, Kibito, Supreme Kai forgot to give him the code to go through the giant fish, Warp Sama, so that's probably going to be an issue later. But I feel like they're going to do some comic relief for, like, just Vegeta threatens the fish or something, and then the fish decides to let them through without the pin. It's going to be something like that. But yeah, I'm kind of just, like, speculating there. Anyways, yeah, the animation for this episode was really great, as always. And also, yeah, the statue of Deborah, which I just showed there. I missed it, but that was kind of cool too, to see the statue of Deborah. Deborah's like freaking, he has his own Saddam Hussein statue in the demon realm, so that was kind of cool. And I do kind of like it. So far I like about Daima is it just builds on the lore of the demons, which is some we never got to see. It even says in the intro, like, there's a whole new world that we never get to see. And Deborah was kind of, when you ask Dragon Ball fans wasted characters, they'll tell you, like, Deborah and everyone is like King Cold. It's really great to see that Deborah now is getting his time. Even though he's dead still, we're finally getting way more lore about this guy in the demon realm, in the politics of it. And that's great, because Deborah was kind of just like, brushed aside so quickly in the original Z. So getting to see more or learn more about him is great. Learn more about his father. And, maybe some of the other characters in the future will be the same thing. Maybe with, King Cole, I hope we get something like that as well in the future. But yeah, I'll say this episode was more of a build-up adventure episode. If you like adventure, you like Star Wars, you're going to like this episode. But, not too much action, despite I started off showing the fight scene. It's not like the typical big battle action that you're used to. So this was kind of more of a build-up episode, because I think we're going to eventually get to that big action once Goku goes Super Saiyan, gets used to his body and everything. We're going to get to that. We get to the real, more powerful guys. So I would say this episode would, I would say, 8.5 out of 10. I would say it's 8.5 out of 10. It was a really fun episode. But yeah, wherever you are, have a fantastic day, and peace out.